Welcome back, everybody. This is Jochen Hayden, and you're here with the Desert Wolf versus Wirraway Ace War in the Pacific campaign. This is December 7th, 1942, a full year after the war started, and let's watch it. Of course, we're playing Scenario 1 with stacking limits. A full year has passed since the war started. 1 year later. A 1 year anniversary special. Okay, unloading at Kusai. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Guess you couldn't get away. Well, it's... I thought... Come on. How's that minesweeper keep dodging this? Out there near Coco's, the Lark keeps dodging those enemy cruisers. I don't know how it's doing it because it's a lot slower than they are. Okay, more unloading at K. From now on, I'm going to call this K. This is K. This is N. Tagula is T. Russell is R. I'm tired of saying these. So K. This is K from now on. Okay, get some daylight and get some coast watchers going on now. Okay, more unloading at K. Oh, a couple vehicles were lost in this one. Ah, finally. I was wondering whether the Lark was going to meet its maker. All right, let's finish him. Yep. It's going to take a lot of hits to take that thing out. The Lark was cheating fate way too long. There's no way the range is increasing. He ain't getting away. Boy, how many shells can this thing take? I think we got the point, right, guys? Do you see enough of this? All right. Combat ends with the last Allied ship sunk, and the Lark goes down 17 shell hits. Now that's a lot of damage. Not even Flex Sail could fix this ship. There it is. Okay, this is going to be the AM air phase, and we always start with the search aircraft first. Oh, Glenn. A Glenda spotted those guys. That means that there's a sub with a seaplane spotter. So it looks like no, there you go. The Dauntlesses are attacking that poor sub that spotted them. Okay, we're into the sweeps now. I can't believe the zeros are still there. I can't believe it. Why? Well, I don't see this going well for the Japanese today. All right, this could take all night, so let's go ahead and fast forward here. My prediction is the Japanese get stomped out. Let's go. Oh. I don't really know. That looked pretty bad for both of them. No, I think this was about an even trade again. I saw a lot of Wildcats burning up too, so. Junio 1B, Junio 1C, and a 202. I did not have enough aircraft up. Yeah. The carriers have too many aircraft. They're just going to sweep these guys into submission. And this is why I was wanting Wirraway to pull these aircraft off, because he doesn't have enough fighters here to withstand this. He's going to get whittled away by attrition here. Yep, that didn't go well. Yeah, I really think that Wirraway made a mistake staying engaged there that long. You gotta have numbers to win that sort of thing. Whoa! Hey! What do we got here? What do we got here? Oh, no! Are these carrier aircraft? What is this? Oh, no! Oh. Let's go where... I mean, oh, no. Wirraway, no. How could you do this? Oh, man. I'm not convinced that these are... I don't think these are... I'm starting to think that these are not carrier... from carriers. I think these are land-based. These are land-based, guys. Okay, I think he flees into the island just for this turn. And so far we're looking at 3 ships hit. No, not sure what will go down yet. Okay, we're back to bombing in China. Oh, a lot of Chinese units are getting touched by this. I'm just not sure what the point of all this bombing is. It's not doing anything. Unless he's going to attack here, I don't get the point. Yep, all right. Yep, B-17s are going to come in and destroy a lot of the aircraft that are damaged from the sweeps. I don't know, man. I think he should have pulled those aircraft off. Well, here's the sad thing. This is a pretty decent cap that's up. I still think, and let's find out. I still think these liberators will get through all of this. Because these 4-inch bombers are ridiculous. It's not fair. So what is your prediction? Do you think that this cap is going to do something? I don't think so. Well, let's find out. Here we go. Jeez, look at that. Ridiculous. All of them get through. All of them. Why even bother putting up a cap? You can't even hurt these things. Dumb. Yeah, this makes me angry. Oh, there's more nicks and there's more stuff here, but they still won't do anything. Yeah, give me a break. All these aircraft, aren't these supposed to be the bomber killers? Well, they didn't do jack. 5 liberators damage, that's it. Oh, maybe it's the altitude. That's pretty high. That's low, and that's low. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe we can kill some of these. That'd be nice. Wirraway. Maybe Wirraway could, do something with these. Not we. Let's see. I bet you they all get through. Yep, they get through because why not? Mm-hmm. Okay, there's your AM phase. Very disappointing for the Japanese, for sure. One allied ship goes down there, but you know, it's not at the end of the world. All right. Ah, the Sonyas. Even in clear sky, they still can't do any damage. Nothing. And the B-17s are hitting Nauru. Oh, sorry. This is N. We're calling this N from now on. I'm tired of saying Nauru as well. Okay, that was a pretty ineffective bombing raid. Not quite sure why. Okay, there's your PM phase. It's in the books. Uh-oh. I don't think it's gonna make it. I don't know about that. Dang. The sub-chasers are shooting? Huh. I would have never thought. Guess they got guns too, huh? More loading at K. More vehicles destroyed. Okay, we should be getting into some land combat. Let's see what happens this turn. Okay, a bombardment attack up here. Mildly effective and successful. Japanese bombardment. I wish there was some way as a defender you can turn this off, because it's a waste. These never go well. And another bombardment here. Look at that. It's like nothing. Japanese attacking here. Or bombardment, rather. Japanese bombardment here. Allied deliberate attack. I expect this to go very well. Let's see. You guys ready? I think we might actually kill a couple units here. I think so. Oh, yeah. Oh, mmm. Look at that. That's some good stuff there. Look at all these losses. Units destroyed 1. Okay, yeah. These tanks, it's these tanks right here. They're just slicing and dicing through these Japanese troops here. Yep. It's just a matter of time. These guys are getting whittled down quickly. Yeah. Look at those. Destroyed, destroyed, destroyed. Very good attack. All right. Making progress there. I just really surprised that Wirraway did that with his aircraft. Hopefully he can just get him out of there now. They didn't really have the kind of effect that we were hoping for. I mean him. Not we. I don't want it, you know. Let's see what we get for arrivals here. Cleveland! Hey, we got the Cleveland on the map. Looks like a unit's transferring into cans to maybe go over to Gula when it's taken. We'll look at this turn now. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Let's take a look at this turn. I'm not too happy with it. Let's look at this. Aircraft losses. Yeah, the Japanese got completely slaughtered today. And look at this. B-24s. 1 shot down. You're telling me with all this cap, with all these fighters, we had Oscars, we had Nicks, we had Zeros all over the place. None of them could do anything against these bombers. And I've been railing on this for a long time about how much I think the American 4-inch bombers are overpowered. It's not even fair. There's nothing you can do. I get it that it's reality. The Zero wasn't a great bomber interceptor, but this is a game. And if you just get run over because it's just the way it is, who wants to play that? Gosh, I'm really dreading if I ever play Japan dealing with this because it's not even fun. Of those 11 aircraft that were shot down on the Allied side, you had 4 pilots that went permanently gone. Army lost points this turn. 13 for the Allies, 15 for the Japanese. They had a bad day on K Island over there. Ship sunk. Wow, we got something interesting going on here. We're reporting 2 Japanese subs sunk. Now, one of these I kind of believe, the I-172. I think that thing got sunk recently due to all the bombings it had. The I-28, I don't know about this one. I'm not convinced that this actually went down. So we didn't even really see it attacked. We saw it attack, but we didn't see it actually get reported as hit. So I'm calling I-28 a maybe, I-172 a probable, right? We saw the Lark get sunk by the Japanese Japanese destroyers, and these 2 guys got sunk by Vowels at K Island there. Okay, looking at political points, by my calculations, Desert Wolf spent 51 political points last turn, or this turn, so I don't know where he spent them at, though. For the turn total, the Allies gained 13 points over the Japanese, bringing the win ratio down to 1.4. Wow, I cannot talk tonight. Bringing the win ratio down to 1.614. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. Oh, what happened here? All right, let's take a look at the old combat reporter data, and we'll see what we see. Okay, so we'll start with sea engagements. So we only had 1 this turn. The surface engagement by the 2 destroyers. They finally took out the Lark, and it took 17 shell hits. And yeah, I'm surprised it took that many hits. For ground this turn, Tagula, we had Bombardment. I'm going to call this R Island. Bombardment. K Island. We had a Bombardment first, but then a very successful allied attack. And here's something I want to point out to you. Look at it. It's not the assault value total. It's the firepower within it that really determines the outcome of these battles, right? I did a video on this some time ago in my tutorial series where I break down what's in assault value. For example, this armored unit, right? It only has an AV, or assault strength, assault value, it's the same thing, of 44. But when you go in to look at the firepower of a Stuart light tank, you'll start to see real quick that this thing has a lot of power when compared to an infantry squad, right? Let's look at an M3 Stuart, right? M3 Stuart. I believe it's up. There we go. We'll look at vehicles. M3 Stuart. Right here. Anti-armor 70. Anti-soft 28. Armor 45. So if the Japanese don't have any anti-armor weaponry, these light tanks can dish out so much firepower, and there's just nothing that the Japanese can do to stop it, right? So when you have a lot of armor on this island out here, even though your actual assault value total isn't that high, where's it at? Assault strength, it's the same thing. The makeup of the units and the devices inside really play a key battle in determining how much firepower that they have. So don't get hung up on assault value. Go and dig deeper and do some math and figure out how much firepower these units pack. That's what's killing the Japanese units here. One, they have nothing but support units here, right? We can take a look at what those look like. No, I got combat reporter for that. I don't need this. Look, we have multiple armored units here that have a lot of firepower versus a lot of Japanese units that have mostly support units that have very little firepower. That's the disparity. That's the disparity you see here with these losses. Anyway, that was Kusai, K Island. Bombardment here, that was ineffective mostly, and then a bombardment here, which was even more ineffective, despite the Japanese bombing the heck out of this place. Nothing that we need to look at for amphibious operations. For air, we had this attack, which caught me completely by surprise. The Japanese, now these are, at first I thought these might be carrier based aircraft, but I quickly realized that he flew these in maybe from Ponape or even truck, and he just brought them in for a turn just to wreak some havoc. So the Japanese brought in some Vals, some Zeros, Oscars, and Nicks, and unfortunately Desert Wolf and all of his clairvoyance and intelligence moved out anything of any real value last turn. Right? The carriers are not here. In fact, I gotta figure out where they are at. These guys are way back here. See that? They were previously at K Island. Now they're behind the Gilberts because he's worried about carriers coming in. Where else? What else do we got here? Where are those light carriers at? I don't know. They're around here somewhere. But they're nowhere close to the front lines, right? So all that then was left here was some ships unloading, and they're not overly valuable. So we lost a couple transport ships and a couple, and this destroyer here, the case, right? It didn't sink outright, but it's about to. Now also take a look at this. Full speed, full speed. I think what the intent here is that as soon as these guys are done unloading, he wants them to full speed the heck out of here this direction. Because he knows the carriers are coming. That's why he's pulled so many of these ships back. I think I'm going off on a tangent though. Anyway. Tagula, we had Zeros up in cap. Unfortunately, they did not have a good day. And I knew that would happen because the carriers have way more fighters on them than what he's going to be able to put on those islands. So he left them there and they got shredded. multiple times, no less. And then the B-17s came in and blew up some more on the ground and just walked through this cap. Like, well, obviously there was one cap there, but they walked through these caps like it's nothing, right? Jaluit had some. Oh wait, this is the Jaluit base force, which is on K Island. Okay, a lot of bombing on the Allies this turn. Let me see if I can find some of these. A lot of aircraft expended on bombing the Chinese units near Chengte. Now let's take a look at how effective that's been. Look at that. We got supply back. A little bit of disruption, but not enough to really cause any issues here. So he's expending so many bombers on this hex, and he's barely doing anything to it. I don't get it. I don't know why he keeps insisting on attacking this hex. There's got to be another way to get through. Anyway, before I go off on a tangent, let's press on with our situation here. We'll look at some SIGINT now. Radio. Let me see here. Anything good? Singapore Babel. Paramashirojima. Again, radio transmissions there. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm always interested in that for some reason. Something about the Kuril Islands just really interests me. Yeah, nothing good. Located. A lot of units located, but I went through and checked a lot of these, and they're not really anything, nothing we really need to know about. Yeah. And we know, hey, 1,376 men are based at Ayutthaya. That's great. Okay, let's briefly talk about the ops report. And there's not too much to talk about in this one. Arrivals. We see that we got the Cleveland. This is kind of cool. This is the lead ship in the Cleveland class of light cruisers. It's finally available. And it's going to be coming on the map here probably in about 7 to 8 turns. It's got to leave the Panama Canal and exit somewhere on here. My guess it's going to be heading out to the Gilberts to join in on the action over there. Okay, let's see here. Let's talk about the repairs. And I've already kind of talked about it, but the destroyer case is not doing too good over at K Island. Where are we at? Okay. Case is probably going to sink next turn. It's got a lot of fires and system damage over 50. Once you have system damage or flotation damage over 50 and you have fires like this, you basically overwhelm the fire suppression, the damage control parties. So my guess is that the case will go down next turn. All right, and then the last thing we'll talk about, and it really wasn't much to talk about in here, was right here. This was the location where supposedly the I-28 was sunk. That's what they're saying in our ship sunk report for this turn. I personally don't buy it. I don't think that's the case. So, but what is interesting here is that there is a sub out here, and he's got all these guys spotted. Except for this guy. These guys are heading back. Now, we'll talk about this in a minute, but I see what's going on here. Do you guys see what's happening here? Huh? Yeah. Anyway. That's about it for the combat reporter stuff. Let's talk about the turn. All right, I think I kind of went off on a tangent here, when we were talking about bombing, but I don't understand the whole Japanese situation here. I don't know what their strategy is. It's just super grindy. The reason that it's like that are these stacking limits that they're playing with. Personally, I don't think I could ever play a stacking limit game. Not right now. I get that it may be a little more historically accurate, but it's so grindy and there's no progress being made either here in China or here in Burma. It's taken too long. I don't have the attention span for it. I don't really necessarily agree with Lodrick's approach, which is like, the death stacks of 1 million men and 500,000 tanks just blasting through a hex. That's not realistic either, but at least it's it keeps the game moving and it forces people to react and do things. This just is stagnant, and I don't know if I like it. So I don't see any way forward for China or Burma right now for either side. It's just a big stalemate. And somebody's got to do something drastic, in my opinion, to change what's happening here. Because I don't see it. I don't see what the way forward is on any of this. So things are getting kind of spicy over here at Coco's Island. I did notice that Desert Wolf pulled out most of his PBYs, and when I looked for them, I found them over here at Colombo. Most of these units were over at Coco's, and he moved them over to Ceylon just to get them out of the way of whatever the Japanese are trying to do here. They left some sort of placeholder ship here. We got the destroyers over here, and these are the heavy cruisers that we're bombarding. They're probably going back to Buitenzorg. Well, no, not there. It's a Port Zero. They're probably going to go back to Jilitjap or Batavia to rearm, and then they'll come back and do something again. I don't know if this is signaling the beginning of an attack on Coco's, but he's definitely keeping things busy, right? And the supply situation in the meantime is starting to get a little grim. So I'm not quite sure what the plan is long term for this place for either side. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, no carriers are spotted right now, and that's very important. Remember last turn I called it I think I named the video a tactical withdrawal. I totally understand why. Let's take a look. Let's start down here. Do you guys notice that all these units are pulling back and heading to Safe Harbor? We have these guys which were still full of supply and they were unloading it. Apparently that's been called off and they're being sent back to Rog Captain just to find cover. This thing with still Australian troops aboard is out of there. He's pulled it out even with the troops on board, and he's sending it down to Brisbane. The carriers, which I'm sure have plenty of sorties left, 82% sorties left, right? They're in no danger of running out of fuel, running out of sorties. There's plenty of aircraft left aboard, but he's bringing them back to Brisbane as well. And the reason is he is concerned about the Kido Butai showing up. So the Kido Butai is not sighted right now, but they could either go this way or they could head this way. And again, as I've already stated in other videos, this 3 carrier task force is not strong enough to take on the KB at all. So we can see right now Desert Wolf is reacting to the impending arrival of the KB. And it seems to me like he is tracking a similar timetable as I am. When we spotted them near Singapore when they first left, right, I gave it about 10 days, and we're getting really close to that time frame. And the 10 days was with them not even full speeding. So if they add any full speed runs in here, the Kido Butai could be in position in any number of one of these places soon. So I see Desert Wolf is pulling his ships out to play it safe, and I get it. So the troops that are on here are going to have to fend for themselves for a while. Whatever supply and whatever troops they have is what they're going to get until further notice, really. Because we don't know how long we're going to have to stay away until we get eyes on the KB moving away. All right. And a similar situation's happening here in the Marshalls and the Gilberts. We can see that he's already pulled his carriers back behind the Gilberts to shield them from an impending Kido Butai attack. Like he's just buying himself some cover just to stay back here out of the way. These guys are set to full speed to leave the area as soon as they're unloaded as fast as possible. Both task forces. Okay, he's already pulled out all the big, heavy, and expensive stuff, and he's just left a few things that he's trying to get as much off of as possible. These guys are heading out of the way. They're getting out of there. These guys are going to unload some supplies and get the heck out. See, everything is set to full speed. That's just the ASW. That's retreating. Do you see what I mean? There's very left that's coming in, except, okay, these battleships are going back in for another run, it looks like. But after that, I'm sure he's going to pull them back as well. So, Desert Wolf is tracking what I'm tracking, that the Kido Butai is on the way, and he does not want to risk any ships unnecessarily. What I did not see was the the escort carriers. I'm trying to figure out where he put them. Oh, it's right here. Okay, so they're already under the cover of the harbor here. Let's see if he's moved any more fighters in here. No, no fighters really, just a little bit, but he's ready for the attack. So he did manage to police up what he needed to, and just halted the attack and got his stuff out. Pretty smart. We already talked about how it's going here at K Island. I think it's going well. Nauru is not so great. We do have some supply here, but not enough to last indefinitely, and definitely not enough power to attack this garrison again. So these guys are stranded here for a while. That's just the way it's going to be. And quite honestly, these guys are stranded here, but they're in a much better way. They've got much more supply and better firepower to deal with the stuff here. All right, guys. Well, that's the turn. A couple more days, 2-3 days at the most, we might be seeing Japanese carriers get into action here. I will end this on the note that I am not happy again with the way the air war has gone for the Japanese here with regards to these 4-engine bombers and their complete invulnerability to Japanese fighters. I mean, we even had Nix up in cap and engaged, and these are supposed to be the Japanese bomber killers in 1942, and they did nothing, absolutely nothing. So I don't know what the answer is to that. I think I've talked to Desert Wolf about this before, and he said just wait till 1943. The Japanese get the Georges and all that other stuff, but I don't know. I'll have to. I'll see if when I believe it that they're able to do a lot better than these guys are. Anyway. That's enough talking for now. I will catch you guys on the next one. Poor Wirraway.